Today I want to talk about strongboxes and a little bit about rings. As a Dutch person, it's hard to spend my money on strongboxes, aka loot boxes, since the Netherlands and Belgium have laws to prevent the vile exploitation of the ignorant and weak-minded populace. But MindArc managed to slip through the cracks by ensuring the consumer gets the exact value of the key inside their loot boxes, with a chance of something rare. With their latest brand new addition to the lootbox system, MindArc shakes the very foundation of human hope, greed and never having enough junk to fill your trunk. The Legacy Strongbox. Something Entropia Universe has plenty, legacy. With 20 years of past and many items came and went, there's always some awesome content that may have been left us too soon. And as the community manager recently said in an interview, so many awesome, low-risk items that should have been made available again. This is somewhat prominent in the Legacy lootbox. So all the Mayhem rings may drop. The elusive empty Schoon plant, which we all probably have dropped once or twice, albeit in lesser value than you hope for. Rare Mayhem tokens, the Kronos armor set, unlimited, several limited weapon amplifiers. Unfortunately, a lot of consumable buffs, the only item that actually shouldn't have value and probably are forbidden by the Dutch laws since we cannot trade them. Yes, I'm looking at the Neurstim Y, one of the consumables I do frown upon. And lastly, Gold Ingots Universal Ammo, which will be 90% or more of the loot. And several limited variants of the Ziplex, which is a finder for mining. Now don't get me or my tone wrong, I love strongboxes and I have absolutely no economic restraint, and the only reason I even would make money in Entropia would purely be because it is very challenging, but also very time consuming, which I don't always have. And me working in my own company would be infinitely more profitable at any time, but of course less fun. If you would have the expendable income to buy some legacy loot boxes from the auction, you would quickly see that those go for quite some more money than the average strongbox. Great if you have some, so you can sell them, but considering you probably grinded your soul to dust to obtain them, you may as well open them yourself. The resource mayhem run for a short time, November 14 till November 28 in 2024, just before the Christmas events, which is more favorable by me, but it does give a nice little insight in something you probably already know. Keeping those items for a while may just raise their value, but since November 2025 is just around the corner, they may very well drop in value again. We do have the Summer Mayhem Assault of 2025, which also give them on high stages, the first one being stage 17, which may be well out of your league. Check out my other video on the Mayhem event, how to do those as good as possible. Luckily, I happen to have 5 of the legacy boxes, and let's just try my luck. And the first one was Legendary, a Mayhem B Amplifier Gamma, which has 10 pet value of course, since every strongbox is in its essence 10 pet value. It adds massive extra damage and even lifesteal, but only as much as your guns can handle. And for me, that may not be enough to be able to use it. You cannot just add 55 damage to a gun, because you never add more than the minimum damage as amplifier, being 30 something for both of my guns. I would simply have much more burn, but average result. I was lucky with the amplifier because all the other ones were ammo, meaning if I'd buy it from auction now I would pay at least 50 pet for 10 pet ammo. The potential to give you, for example Kronos, is insane of course, as they will have a massive markup itself. Regardless, a gamble, and gambling is stupid. Another interesting strongbox is the Mining Strongbox. It can contain ammo, but it mostly contains ores, which in itself means it's pretty much a guaranteed profit on the 10 pet it costs for the key, since most ores do have a markup. Regardless, you'll find much more lower tier ores, but it's just a nice bonus. It's funny actually, those strongboxes are absolutely smart to pump more real money in the economy, since you cannot just open them but need to buy the keys for real money. So finding a strongbox while mining is of course a 10-pet addition on your drop, but you will still need to get a key from the store to get that potential. Again, buying mining strongbox from auction is in its essence stupid as hell, since you ruin your markup. You can find rare ores in there and limited finders, and also level 1 to 4 amplifiers, the latter being a bit low in my opinion since I like to throw 5 or D-class myself. The next one is just like the mining strongbox, numbered, possibly part of an elaborate master plan by Mindark, but yet to be implanted, since the 1 is all you get so far. This is the Beacon Strongbox 1, most famous for its lion parts as legendary loot, and we also get into the ring scene now, which is the prime way to open strongboxes. The Beacon boxes come from the Beacon instances and are an uncommon drop. Seeing if you would pay a fair price on the auction may be challenging due to the insane amount of percentage. If something has no value, like the strongbox, the markup will be in the millions, if not billions as percents. So check the market price and mouse over the percentage for the most accurate reading. The boxes go on average for 300 to 500 million%. This is 70 or 100 pet. I had 3 and opening my first gave me a rare item, depicted by the blue background. The yellow one earlier was legendary and red will be mythic. The second opening was a pistol and I can't use either of them, so I will sell them both. They go for a very high markup. They may be 1 pet value, but they last for a very long time. Maybe a little tip, the sales you see in the market value will be the sold item value, not the markup value paid, as you can clearly see for those items. Well, I probably was lucky, but I cannot say I'm against buying these, as they are for me a 300 pet profit once I sell the guns. Now we move towards the event strongboxes, and the first one is the Summer Strongbox, rewards for quests during the Eomon migration, and of course the Summer Mayhem Assault, accessible from the global event lists, right now actually. These sell for much lower on the auction, and the reason is as simple as possible. There is nothing inside. Well, not entirely. We have a booster implant and some amplifiers for BOP, laser, and also the matrix amplifier for melee. The last one being actually pretty good, as it gives a lot of lifesteal, evade and dodge chance. But those stats you may prefer getting from a ring. Overall the weakest, if I were to keep a tier list, I'll drop them in F tier, but I will open them just for you. If you want to see what's inside, simply check the description, except for the summer one. That's why they were like, yeah, if we show what we put in there, we will never sell them. And also the event ones show limited info. Opening the summer box also starts revealing the real junk, pets, name tags, fireworks, oh so much fireworks, and 5 quadrillion consumables. Some useful, most not. Especially if they are super short and give minimum buffs. Having your money turned into something that's in essence worthless and also can never make up its value and also cannot be sold is something I still frown upon. This is, in my opinion, not honest. The most closely matching the Summer Strongbox is actually the normal classified Strongbox you get from the store. They are the cheapest, since essentially you can get them for free if you buy the keys, so have no value and thus cannot be sold. It will contain so much crap that you will almost guaranteed lose money, but here comes your chance for rings, which is all important and makes this the best option to get rings until now. So I opened 10 and all containing simple stuff, nothing worth and mostly ammo. Just like the summer box, it also contained a panda pad, many buffs and fireworks. And then we get into the seasonal boxes, some are not counting and those are much more interesting, mainly due to token drops, which gives you a choice of what you want to buy. The Easter will most likely be your lesser choice, as it contains basic buffs and many amplifiers and have no further good items, except of course the ultimate ring, rare as hell of course, but every year a new unique ring comes out, making it very desirable, as the rings have of course insane markup. In the 10 box I opened was yet another amplifier, an alpha this time. It adds 45 penetration damage, which made it also obvious why the gamma was better, as it gave 10 extra damage for the same ammo burn. Another legendary item was 2 Easter eggs, and those are no joke, but provide a strong buff for an hour, and maybe they are actually even worth the 5 pet that they are. And next up are the Halloween boxes, and I still get plenty of those from the last event. They drop a lot of unique items like several colors of the skeleton clothing, and for me an MF amplifier in the 10 boxes that I opened, which you can put on any Mind Force weapon. I actually find those quite often in these boxes, but then I opened a lot last year. I also found a red variant of the skeleton clothing for a female. Lastly, we want to cover the Red Christmas box, and these are one of my favorites as they sometimes provide me with free buffs for the rest of the year in the form of a candy cane, a relative potent buff. The reason this is so good is because you get many of them and they're not rare and barely have value. So 10 buffs plus 9.9 pet universal ammo is actually a very reasonable value for that 0.10 pet, and that's the only instance of a buff item done right. Needlessly to say, all 3 seasonal boxes have a unique ring and the effects will change every year. The Halloween and Christmas rings can also have a negative effect among the positive effects, which is interesting, but not all of them, some are just really good. Besides the rings named after the events, there are also more Greek style rings which come into different variants. These are pretty common at lower variants, but the better variants, like the perfected ones, will be much more rare. And then there are alleged unique rings that will drop once ever, but you may better off just going to the normal lottery for this amount of luck. You can wear one left hand ring and one right hand ring, and best is to save some money and buy them from the auction directly to get started, as you find decent ones for below 100 pet easily. Events that drop most boxes are locked to season events, and if this is the case for you, you can find them usually in the global event list. However, during events like Christmas, you may find the quest givers in event towns like Nymphtown and Fort Ithaca. I hope this guide helps you in how to obtain rings and event gear. And also check out the playlist for Entropia, and if you like this video, drop a like, share the video, it really helps us out so I can make more videos for Entropia. Thank you for watching.